How's it going, YouTube? Today we're going to be looking at a small toy. It comes in a big box. This is the Jinbao Deformation Evil Energy Destroy Emperor. This is a knockoff, slightly oversized version of, I believe it's the New Age Megatron. Here's the back of the box. Shows everything that comes in the box here. I guess it's supposed to also come with a Kremzik, like a small Kremzik figure. Mine didn't come with that, but mine came with two of the maniacal laughing faces, so this basically just cardboard box. The colors are pretty good on it. Clamshell. The clamshell is like way bigger than it should have been. You got like, here's where the suppressor, the scope, the butt, a few other accessories. The stand was in 3 parts here, and then all the rest of the accessories were here. There was figure itself. Here's the instructions. They're not done very well. Just kind of very washed out, saturated gray throughout, kind of small, and I believe there's a few steps in here that I saw that were missed, and then nothing on the back, so they could have printed on both sides and had them a little bit bigger. Moving on to accessories, so he comes with a stand. He comes with this clear stand. You have to take it apart to articulate it. It's kind of a bummer, but oh well. It's pretty solid for what it is. Just a 3-part or 4 parts that came in the package, all separate, and you gotta assemble it. Small one goes in there, bigger, and then pretty much that's how that goes. He comes with the little silencer thing, and this does kind of come apart. I don't know if it's just not glued together properly or what. So yeah, and then this is just kind of a loose piece in here. Yeah, I don't know. And if it does come apart on you, you do want to put it back together. There's a little notch on this ring here. Let me focus this for us. You want that notch to be where the channel is in there. There's a channel that has 2 ridges, and then the rest of them have just a single ridge. You just want to, it's hard to work with. Basically what you want is you want it to line up with that. There we go. And then have that line up with this here. And then this is also another piece that comes off. That should be correct. So there's that, the suppressor. Here's the butt that it also rotates. Then there's a hinge here. I'll go more into the detail on these when we get to the alt mode, but basically that's how that goes together. He comes with the fusion cannon. And the fusion cannon basic, I'll show how that connects as well. It does have an extending portion that locks into place, and then can also collapse. So it depends on your preference whether you like the extended look. And this piece comes off for no apparent reason. So whether you like it extended or if you like it collapsed, that can go on any of these here, these connections, so that can go on there like that. And he stands behind it pretty well, about the right size. Going back to the base, this does plug into a 3mm port here. Kind of awkward place, but there he is on his base. Just like a little flight stand. It's not the best done, not the most well done, but it's a it's a thing. His other accessories. So he comes with a few blast effect pieces, and you can really use these as blast effects, or you can use them as swords or something. He comes with 3 of these. They're exactly the same, and then he comes with this one here. It's pretty cool. And then he comes with this little blast effect. If I can keep my hands on it. I don't know if all of those are shown. Yeah, they are all shown on the back of the packaging. And then, of course, they have an adapter, which they all attach to. They just plug in onto the adapter, like so. And then that can go into the barrel, like that. Or it can go into the fusion cannon, like so. And you can use any of these. You can use any of these blast effects on there. So if you want to use this one. Get that look. He can also hold this in his hand, so he can use it as a sword, if you will. Pretty cool that they include that. And I really think that's why this one, just to have it like the little sword he used against Optimus in the movie. So this is blast effects parts. He comes with his mace as seen in the More Than Meets the Eye. This does come off if you pull on it. And then that can also go inside his hand. It seems kind of small, but so that's that. He comes with this little plug, and that's installed when you get him out of the package, plugged in there like that, and it just twists out. It's not glued in or anything, it just twists right out, and you can do whatever you want with that. He comes with key to Vector Sigma. This is basic, really well sculpted. Let's see if there we go. Really well sculpted, looks good. Both sides are sculpted the same. And he can hold that in his hand, though it's tight because of the paint, and I don't really want to scratch the paint up, but he can hold that like so. He comes with the blaster used to take down Optimus in the movie. Mine has a little bit of paint wear here on the back already, just from putting it in his hand a couple of times. But yeah, it just goes in his hand like so. And then you can use these blast effect parts on it as well. You do have to kind of put them on at an angle due to the little sight here. But yeah, you can put all the blast effect parts on there if you want. So that's that. He comes with the mind control helmet from the episode where he built that, or when he was controlling the Autobots. that just goes onto his head like so. And it does come in 2 separate pieces. The microphone is separate. You have to plug it into the helmet, but pretty cool. And he comes with this little filler piece, and that just plugs into the side back here into his flank. If that serves any purpose, here's what it looks like without, here's what it looks like with. So I mean, it looks good with, but I usually just display him without it. It doesn't bother me too much. It's just another thing, you know, that you have to take off when you transform him. And I don't like having to take a bunch of stuff off to transform my figures. He comes with multiple faces, and so he comes with the angry face here on the head. And that just swaps out. You just kind of get into this. You can go under his chin, actually. Get that pulled apart. It's just on a little peg. He comes with the kind of maniacal laughter or smiling face. And they all have this metallic red paint on the eyes. But there's what he looks like with his face. And then he also comes with just a standard straight stoic face. And then once again, that just plugs onto his, like that. Pretty cool. I do prefer the angry face on him. I think it looks the best out of all of them. And then my copy came with 2 of the happy laughing face. And it comes with this assortment of hands. So he has the weapon holding hands, the accessory hands on right now. They just plug it, unplug. They're on what I believe is 5mm ports. And each side he comes with a pointing hand. These parts are so small it's hard to focus on them. Comes with a pointing hand for each side, and he comes with an open hand for each side. Kind of opposing hand. So yeah, you can do like a pointing. All this hand's kind of down here like this. And then the fusion cannon just attaches onto his arm. But like, you know, here's like a pose you can pull off with a couple of the extra hands. That's pretty cool. And like I said, he comes with, you know, 2 of these. They're on sprues, so you don't have to take them off the sprue, but if you don't want to. But yeah, he comes with 2 of these hands, and then of course he comes with 2 of the open hands. So I'm gonna set those off to the side. He cannot transform while he has those hands attached, so you have to have the regular, you know, weapon holding hands attached for him to transform. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and get down to transformation, or for articulation, I should say. So articulation, his head is on a ball joint. It can swivel all the way around. You can look up just a little bit and look down a little bit. Not the best. His arms are on universals. They're on a hinge and a swivel. So the swivel is all the way down here. It doesn't look the best when you have his arm like straight out, but his arm sits at the right height right here when they're, you know, just straight down to his side. But when you turn his arm, it doesn't look terrible, but it doesn't look great. This hinge gets you out to here. You get the full rotation. He does have a small butterfly forward, just a little bit of butterfly forward, nothing back. These panels that wrap around his arm for transformation, this one's kind of loose, so it does kind of get caught up and in the way on my copy. He has a bicep swivel. It goes all the way around. 90-degree hinge on this arm, on the other arm, just slightly under 90 degrees. They're different because they transform differently. And then due to the peg, this is on a swivel. He does have a small ab crunch. It's just one click back or forward. The joint's mostly used for transformation, but it can be used here as an ab crunch as well. He does have a rotation at the waist. His legs are weird, so these panels can come out and he can do the full splits. He can't kick back due to the way the legs are made. They have a swivel at that ball joint where you get the full split, and then they kick forward at this joint, which is a very odd joint. It's underneath where his hip would be, so it's almost like a mid-thigh bend rather than a hip kicking forward. It's like he breaks it at the thigh and kicks forward. The knee, pretty good range there. The ankles don't go forward or back, but they do tilt to the side. Same thing on the other leg. This arm, it's got the same articulation as the other arm. It's just like the forearm that's different, but you still get like the swivel here. If you don't want the fusion cannon on, this piece does fold in, and it folds in for transformation as well. Let's see, anything else? I don't think so. So we're going to go ahead and go into transformation. And this thing has a really cool transformation. Every time I transform this, I have a lot of fun. So to start transforming him, you definitely want to take off the fusion cannon first. Set that to the side. Alright, you're going to come to his... let's start with the legs. So come down to the legs, and you want to pull this heel spur out, and then flip out the cocking lever. And then this panel comes out and then rotates around. And then you push that in, and that makes that flush. Pull this panel out and around, and you can rotate this panel. Do the same thing on the other side. You're going to open this up. You don't have the lever there, so you don't have to worry about it. Open this panel up. Come in here. Pull this off this tab here. You can see the tab. Rotate that around, and then push it in. Rotate this panel around, and then now you want to bring the legs out to the full split and just kind of plug the hip skirt into it. Bring it out to full split, plug the hip skirt in, and bring both legs down at this joint here. And that reveals that waist joint I was talking about. It's more for transformation. Then you will plug the legs and just connect them together, tab them all in, and then we'll move on to the upper body. So first you want to pull this down and bring this around, and then this tab will go into this little slot here. You do want to pull on you're going to pull up on this right here. So you're going to pull up on it lightly so you can pull the arm, get this out, and you want to do that on both sides. Just pull the arms down like so. You're going to flip this panel up and then pull out this piece here. Fold that out straight. You're going to lift this up and you want to slide this through like so till that's all the way out. At this point you can rotate the waist around. Bring the chest forward and then rotate it so that this piece is forward. There's this little corner tab here and then 2 tabs here and here that are going to go pardon. They're going to go into this slot here by the head and then these 2 slots here and here. And it helps if you disengage that and reattach it like so. For the arms, you want to lift them at that hinge and then flip these out. So do that both sides. Lift at that hinge, flip this out. On this arm, you want to collapse the forearm over the bicep here and then flip this panel around. On the other arm, it's a bit more involved. You want to pull this panel out like so. Then you want to detach right here, bend that elbow bend, and then bend at this joint here. Then pull this out like so, and straighten it all the way out. So now the hand is here by the elbow, and this is all these solid panels across there. And then you want to flip this panel out like we did on the other side. You want to now bend here at this waist hinge, and then these 2 tabs on this piece here will plug into those 2 slots on the thigh, like so. And that forms a trigger guard. Then you want to bring this arm around and into that cavity. Kind of angle this so when you bring this back, this tab here will go into the same spot where that one went in, and then just bring this in all the way like so, and then just flip this piece down to fill that out. Then you want to just rotate here at the knee, bring this all the way up, and then these 2 tabs here on the shoulders, or what were the shoulders, are going to plug into these 2 slots inside what were the feet. And the panels that were inside the legs are going to plug or slide in between here and create the attachment for the fusion cannon, or for the sight, the scope I should say. Then you just want to close these panels up. This one has a tab on it and this one has a slot. So the tab one goes in first, then the one with the slot goes in after. Just like so. And if you don't have everything, if you don't have the ankles oriented properly, this will come untabbed in the middle. So you just want to fiddle with it until that doesn't come untabbed. And there we have, this is the Walther P38 pistol mode, and it looks pretty cool. It's not very sturdy. It does tip forward easily. You can take the scope and then attach it right here. The trigger does move back and forth. It's not spring-loaded or anything, but it does move back and forth. This can be attached into the barrel, and that's how it comes in packaging. That attached to the barrel like so. Or as I showed earlier in the accessories portion, you can attach this to the barrel and like a little firing effect. And you can use any of the blast effect pieces on there. So if you want to use this one here, and you can use that. Does stick out a little bit, so it doesn't. It's not the most elegant thing, but it works. I guess you could do it the other way. Maybe not. Yeah, that don't fit in there like that. So yeah, so it's got to go in that way. So it's not the most elegant, but you know, it gets the point across. As for these, so we're gonna pull these out, or pull this out like that. These two tabs here, you want to close this up, but these two tabs here will attach to the back into these two slots, just like so, like that. And then this has a hinge here, and then it rotates. And if you want, you can also take that off, but not really any point to it. And then the suppressor will go over the barrel like so. It goes all the way in. And there is the complete look for the Walther P38 Uncle Edition pistol. Looks really good. Looks really nice. A coat of paint would make this thing look absolutely perfect, but for the price I paid for this knockoff version of the New Age Megatron, this is actually really nice. I think I paid like $20 for him. And then once again, none of these will actually work with this, so I don't know if this will. Yeah, that's too loose to fit there, so basically, yeah, that won't work. So pretty cool. There's no real place to store any of the other accessories except for what's on here. If you want to put it on the display stand in this mode, there isn't. I wish they would have put a peg hole for it, but they didn't. But you can just kind of set that like so, and it holds it. I mean, this is kind of sitting down on the. There we go. And that'll hold it. Make a cool little display. So yeah, really cool. I got this on eBay. I bought it for like I said, like a little bit over $20. And it's not a bad little Megatron figure either. He does come with a lot of accessories, and they're very small. They're very, I don't know if I want to say fragile, but they are very small. The fingers on the hands are probably fragile, but you know, this is more of a collector's item and not a toy for children. So as long as you're not like a ham-fisted or, you know, very rough with your figures when you're transforming or messing with accessories, then you should be fine. This figure stands roughly the size of a small deluxe figure from the Transformer line. So he's a little bit bigger than the Legend scale figures that Hasbro puts out, and a little bit smaller than the deluxes, as I said. So for the price and what you get with this figure, it's actually pretty cool and not too bad of a deal. You do want to be wary about eBay, shopping on eBay. Sometimes not all sellers are legitimate. Some of them might scam or just don't send your products, or you know, whatever. So you do want to watch who you purchase from, especially when you buy from retailers in other countries. There are some Chinese retailers that are really good, and some of them not so great. So this has been my review of the Jinbao knockoff of the New Age Megatron. I thank you all for watching, and until next time, till all are one.